Well, guys, let's go up here and see what happened with those first three. So after the last range trip, I did a really light cleaning. I just ran a bore snake down it twice. No cleaners, no solvents. Just a bore snake twice. Just kind of touch up that barrel a little bit. And these first three were Barnes TTSX 140s. We've had, they're a factory load. And if you remember right, we had two groups of those, both go sub MOA. I think they were both around 7/10. And that's all I've ever shot is those 6 in the past. So these are just 7, 8, and 9 of that factory load, that Barnes factory load. So we'll get up here and we'll see what happened, and we'll kind of talk about where we're at on this whole deal. All right, guys, there's those 3 Barnes right out of the gate this morning. Not great at all. We got about a 2-inch group there. So I brought a lot of different ammo today. I brought these Barnes, and then I've got 2 other factory loads. I inherited a bunch of 7 mag factory ammo from an uncle that passed away, and quite a variety. And I have with me today some Hornady Superformance 162 SSTs. I also have some Federal Blue Box 150 soft points, and then I have 2 hand loads with me, and they're both partitions. One is 140 grain and one's 175, and both of those partition loads were awesome in previous 7 mag rifles that I had. Doesn't mean anything for this one, right? But they were awesome in those older 7 mags, and we'll just see. You know, partitions typically aren't the greatest bullet to be testing accuracy with, but I've had a lot of partitions over the years be a sub MOA bullet as well, so it just depends. But yeah, gonna take some time. Beautiful morning. It's like 28 degrees, no wind, great conditions. As we go throughout the day, we'll kind of talk about where we're at here on Big 7, and maybe where we're kind of getting to the point where we're wrapping up a few things. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Look forward to it. Well, this is pretty crazy. These 2 here labeled BS. That's not the BS you think it is. It's for bore sight. Those were from the other day, and I just didn't want to mix them up. But there's the next 3 of those Barnes. 2 in, 1 out. 140 partitions, 2 in, 1 out. 175 partitions, 2 in, 1 out. 162 SST Superformance. What do we got there? 1.25 inches. Oh no, we probably got 1.5 inches for a better group there. I just think this gun hates 162s. So guys, ignore this one. This was a barrel fowler this morning. So these 2 and then that one were 150 soft point Federal Blue Box. 2 in, 1 out. Guys, let's summarize this target here from today. So I did a bore fouling shot right there, BF bore foul. And then the first group was right here with the 140 TTSX. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 are fairly close to 1 inch, but this is probably the worst group. Group number 2 with the 140 TTSX. We've got 2 there almost touching, and the third one flew. Then next I shot these hand load 140 partitions. First 2 were great. I was all excited, and then this one flew out. Then I shot the 175 partition hand loads, and wow, I was like, oh wow, maybe this rifle just wants the big heavies. Now, 1 and 2 were awesome, 3 came out. 162 SST Superformance, 1 and 2, I could see them there with the scope up in that light colored paper, and then 3 flew down. 1 and 2 are close to an inch there, and then 3 flew out a little bit. And then the last one was these 150 soft point Federal Blue Box. 1 and 2 were looking good, and 3 got way over there, a couple inches over there. So this is getting to be a pretty consistent story. Well, look, the reality is this rifle's actually not that picky. It's putting the first 2 from a bunch of different loads, a bunch of different bullet weights, 140 all the way to 175, hand loads, factory loads. It's putting the first 2, not just today, but over the course of all of our sessions here, it's putting the first 2 in 1/4 inch, sub 1/2 inch for sure. And consistently, we've got that third one out. I think that we can rule out the scope, any of the scopes. We can rule out my old eyes. We just have a rifle that after the 2 shots, the third shot's gonna fly about an inch. Sometimes it's almost 2 inches. Naturally, there's always still some human error in this, guys, but we've had so much consistency on this outcome that I think we can be pretty comfortable with what this is about. So, you know, maybe I'll put everything away, I'll jump in the truck, and as I'm rolling out, we'll kind of summarize this whole deal and talk about where we're going. All right, guys, we're taking off here from the shooting area and gonna head back. But, you know, it's one of 2 things, right? As the rifle heats up, the interface between the stock and the barrel in action is changing, or the barrel itself has some type of a stress point in it that changes it at a certain temperature. I guess there's maybe other things it could be, but to me, those are the 2 things. And so we've really come down to where, you know, it's a pretty tough decision, because I don't really want to put any more money in to the rifle. Now, a couple of you have said, hey, you know, rebedding is cheap. Okay, fair enough. And there's no guarantee that fixes it, right? I think we have to come back to, well, is this rifle good enough to hunt with? And I think that's a resounding yes, right? The first 2 shots are almost always touching, and with a variety of bullets. That's what's really amazing, right? Like, I mean, in some ways, I feel like I owe Tika an apology, because, you know, I've been pretty hard on them, I guess, with this rifle. But in the end, it's got a lot of flexibility. Its bullet weights doesn't really matter. Hand load, factory load, all kinds of different powders, primers. The first 2 are almost always touching, and then that third one moves. I don't know, maybe that's unacceptable to some people. And really, for what I've done over the years, it's not really, you know, what I'm used to. So I guess that's a long-winded way of saying I don't really know where I'm going to go from here with this rifle, guys. Probably just going to sleep on it a little bit. I know what it is, right? The outcome of the project is awesome, right? We know what it is. I could pick 140s, I could pick 175s, I could dial a load in that I like, I could chase velocity, and I could hunt with this rifle. So we know that now. yeah, I guess that's kind of a wrap for this, I guess, part of Project Big 7. I don't know if there's a Big 7 2.0 where next year I hunt with this rifle, or I don't know if I trade this one or sell it and pick up a different 7 and build it, test it, see if we can get one that'll run 3 or even 5 into a sub MOA. Don't know, but I do know these past few weeks have been a ton of fun, guys, doing this. It's never frustrating, right? It's a head scratcher and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? That's not to be taken as frustration, right? Are you kidding me? To be able to come out and have the ability to come out and shoot these rifles, load for them, chase the components, chase the ammo, scopes, all that. What a blessing, right? We're just blessed. So look forward to your comments. Look forward to your thoughts on what should be next. It has crossed my mind. I've got a shop that I go to a lot that has aftermarket stocks, very high-end aftermarket stocks in stock right now for this rifle. That would really tell us what's going on here. But that was a lot of money wrapped up in doing that, so I'm gonna have to sleep on that too. Guys, thank you so much. So real quick before I sign off, there was a lot of demand for a revisiting of Project 270. That was by far the most popular thing we ever did on the old Hunt Simple. And guys, I did not keep any of those videos. They're gone, okay? I do have all my load data, all of it that was used to build that up. And I think we could definitely have a meaningful, in-depth revisit of that. And there's a lot of demand for that. And I love the 270. I've totally fallen in love with the cartridge. Since I shut down Hunt Simple and before I came back this fall, I used it on a bunch of hunts, harvested some awesome animals. So that's definitely something I want to do. I appreciate your interest in that. But there was equal interest in Project 7M08. And it feels like, you know, it would just suck to not do that. And that's especially interesting to me because I never have spent time with that cartridge, right? I fiddled with it a little a few years ago. Some of you saw that, but that's right when I was shutting everything down, and I didn't ever really give it justice. So my intention is to do both of those projects, 270 and 708. I'm not sure in what order, and I have to get some things, procure some things before I could do it on the 08, 708. So we'll see how that shakes out. But with the weather, with winter, you just don't know about accessibility. But who knows? Maybe we'll get started on one of those projects really soon. And I think we'll also spend some time on some other topics that you've seen me putting a little bit in the community tab about some hunting ethics, some hunting gear, and there was a lot of interest in those topics, and we could have some good discussion there too. So guys, thank you, and we'll catch up really soon.